guys, hey, I just wanted to throw a video together really quick because I thought it might be interesting for you to see some of the work that I actually do. And a lot of people, they love to bust my chops, and say I don't work, or they don't think that I have a job, where I get paid money. And that couldn't be further from the truth. I've also mentioned before that I also don't make a lot of money. And for the amount of work that I do, I don't make a lot of money. But here is the reason why. So I contract for a startup company. We're a startup. It's about 8 years old, and I've been working for, like 6 or 7 years, I'm not sure. And the reason why there's not a lot of money is because we're a research and development company building microchips and hoping to get funded. We've been funded before, and there's been periods where I'm getting paid like a full regular salary, but then other times it's called a retainer fee. And the reason why you want to be retained is because, especially as a startup, if you are invested in, or even more, if you are bought out, then you make a huge amount of money. So the way to really make money is not by trading your time for money, not trading hours for money, but by getting in where you can get some sort of stock options. So that's what I have. So I'm banking that we are going to make it really big someday. And even if we just get invested in more fully, then I'll just have a regular salary. So let's see. Right now, I thought it might be fun to show you some of the things that I'm doing, and we are preparing to go to CES, Consumer Electronics Show. It's the world's biggest consumer electronics show in the world, and it's held every year, early January, like the first week of January in Las Vegas. I've been a few times, and as a company, the company goes in some sort of representative format every year. We've had booths before, and sometimes just our salesperson and CEO will go, or our lead engineers, so that they can, schmooze. And I've gone because I've always been the designer, and I always set everything up, and I'm there to put everything together, and just be there as an extra person. So this year we were actually invited to an exclusive press event, and it's going to be held at the Mike Tyson Mansion. By the way, I have met some huge people through this work. We were one year invited to a red carpet gala event in Beverly Hills, and you've seen me wear my gold dress, and that's when I got the gold dress for that event. And I've met Ang Lee, I've met Harrison Ford, I've met one of the band members from Guns N' Roses, because we go to these events and we deal with a lot of people in Hollywood, and so you get invited to parties here and there, and there's all sorts of, people here and there in Hollywood. Anyway, this year I'm not going to CES, but I'm preparing all of our signage that's going to go behind. I'm guessing we're having a table or something at the press event, and so I'm the designer. So I'm putting together these 7-foot tall by 2-foot signs, which we use, pretty much for every show, but they get redesigned, for the wording, and sometimes we have a special project funded, so we do the designs for that. So anyway, I'm preparing those, and I wanted to give you guys a look and see kind of what some of the behind the scenes is, just for, the design of it. I'm sure some of you will find it interesting, and then I'm sure some of you will not. So let's take a look at that. So this is the environment that I work in. This is Adobe Illustrator. I use all the Adobe products. In fact, that's what I use to edit Premiere. But this is the Illustrator. And by the way, I actually used to teach Photoshop. So I taught Photoshop at a local community center for a while. So I'm pretty strong in that. And then Illustrator's very similar but a little different. Anyway, you can see the basics. I'm still in the midst of working on stuff, but you can see the signs are all here. These are the tall signs. And you can see, look, sometimes I'm even the model. So that's me. You know, we needed a shot, and you know, if you need a photo of this, you got to create it yourself. So this is actually filmed in my RV, and we've used this sign before. I'm covering up logos right now. We have different things, different companies actually below us, as well as different product lines and stuff. So these signs are pretty much done for now, and I'm working on this one. I was working on this one last night, and you can see it's I built this whole wheel by using this little symbol, or not symbol, but I built these and, you know, made them myself. And then you can see where these shapes are is how I got these to be mathematically correct. So all of this was created from, you know, starting with circles and stuff. And I'll show you one that I still have to do for this sign, because you can see the sign's obviously not finished. So we can go through that together, and you can kind of see how something gets put together and the time it takes and how fun it is. I love it. But it's all sorts of little details, and, you know, everything that you see, like, for example, let me see, like these, alright, I'm trying to find, nope, circles, let's see, emojis, here we go. So if you look at these emojis, I actually had to build these myself. You know, you can't just take a photo of them, even though they're on your phone, but they're all built with different pieces and parts and stuff. So everything gets put together separately. But anyway, let's build one of these so you guys can see how it actually goes together. You know, how anything you see, you know, whether you're at like a movie theater or the grocery store or anything like that, anytime you see these things, these are all elements that are put together one piece at a time, even though they look like, oh, you just make a wheel and put colors on it. You know, every part's different. I'm going to start by building a kind of a flower pattern, just roughly estimating, and I will remove the stroke on that, and I'll give it a color. At this point, it can be any color. And now I'm going to duplicate that. Now I have two. Right click, transform, and I'm going to rotate it, and I think let's see, 360 divided by 5, because I want it to be a 5-sided star or flower, 72, yeah, so we'll do 72. Oops, and before I do that, I have to move the center. I'm going to take my rotate tool, I'll click so I can move my center, and I'm going to do 72 degrees, and then I'm going to duplicate that. Take my center tool, which I still have, alt click, move the center down here, do it 72 again, and repeat until you have 5. Now I'm going to be using these overlays. You can see how they're overlaid, but this one, because one has to be on top of the other, if I move this one above the orange, it'll also go above the yellow. So there's always going to be one behind, so I'm going to duplicate this one. And bring one of those up top. And Now I'm just going to delete Alright, I'm going to delete this point. Alright, I changed out some colors. I think I'll stick with these for the final result whenever it's done. And right now I'm just going to create a little bit of shadow here. So I already have this, by the way, when I did this I had this piece on the wrong side. It was over here reflected. So I put it over here so it's all on top of each other going in this direction. And I'm going to duplicate this so that I have the same path down here at least. And I'm going to call this one Shadow. And at this point, I'll take the rotate tool and do a little bit of a rotate on it. Alright, I'm going to take this, Alt click, rotate it from the center, and we'll do -4. I just want it a little bit rotated. So it rotates a little bit. This is going to be a shadow, so at one point it's going to be below this. Right now I can make it a darker pink because it's a shadow. And let's just add a little bit of black. Let's see. And then I only want the shadow to be just here. I don't need any shade behind on the white. We will add a path or add a button right there. We can move this one down there, and now we can delete. Sensitivity on this is frustrating sometimes. There we go. Delete tool. Delete that one. Bring this down. So now we got a shadow that is just going to go behind there, so it looks like it's only over there. I can bring this one down a little bit. And now I will add a little bit of a Gaussian blur. Gauss, or whatever you say. There's my blur. And let's do 36. Just an estimate. So you can see it blurred it a little. And I'm going to put a little bit of less opacity on it, so it looks more like a shadow. There. It's looking more like a shadow on top of it. You can see a little bit of we can remove that by adjusting the points on this shape. There. Now it's just got the shadow on this little petal next to it. So I'll repeat that for the others. Change that shadow to purple. Shouldn't be casting a red shadow. The purple's getting shaded, so I changed that to a purple color here instead of the pink color. And now this is a shape, this shadow is a shape that I can do the same circular repeating pattern on. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to duplicate it. Now I have two. I'm going to take my rotate tool, bring my center, Alt click right to the center of this because I want it to rotate perfectly, and it's not -4 because it's already off centered. I just have to do 72 and it'll go to the next petal. So now I will do the shadow for the yellow, and it's on top of the yellow, so I need to put this one below the yellow and change it to a pink color so it looks like it's shaded on the pink. selected. Do that here. I'll do kind of a darker orange. Oh, I'm doing it on the pink, so let's do a reddish color. There we go, it looks like a shadow for red. And I keep going. Alright, so you'll see I got the shadows on all of them. You can see I can turn the shadow on and off. It just looks like it's 3D. And now I'm going to put the kind of the title of this graph in the middle. Before I do that, I'm going to lock all these so they're not moving around while I'm trying to do this. So I'll take my marquee, I'm going to make a circle. To make a perfect circle, hold shift. So let's see, probably about the right size. And I want it to be white, because the one below is white. And in here, I'm going to type it on the side. I have a text here telling me what to say. So it's upcoming. I don't know if upcoming is one word, yeah. Upcoming breakthrough gaming products. Alright, so I can highlight that. It's obviously going to need to be bigger. We'll make it a central thing. Move this over here. Center. I will also put the logo. Make this a little bigger. I can add words. I'm going to add a new layer for the flower petal words. Doesn't matter if I made a mistake there, because that's really just for my own reference. Alright, so the first one is saying, here we are, I'm referencing my text again. This is Ultra VR Gaming 360 3D. Whoops, eyes. Okay, this is going to be funny. I might have to edit this. PC and console games. Alright, let me do something different. Let me take my text tool. I'm going to make a little box. And I'll put something there, a placeholder. Take that. Delete that one. We'll put it back in this one. Make this white. And if I wanted to, I can even change these paths so they can go farther out down here and then make these smaller up top. That's the way to move these around a little bit. Got some spelling mistakes. And I'm going to go around and do that for all my petals. So that's about the right size for the sign. This outline is the sign. Now I just need to add my logos, and I'm going to put some, I need to create some little icons to go here. Kind of talk about what all these things are. Alright, so this is the sign. Pretty much ready to print. I've got the OK from the CEO to print this. I ended up not doing the little icons, which is fine. It saves me work, and you know, it's not going to make anybody to change their mind probably about the product. I've got all the logos covered up. To display like a ton of information, lots of words in a design. Look like It'll be taller than a person. This is 7 feet tall. So it's ready to go off to the printers. So anyway, that is a little insight into the work that I do. I also do accounting and bookkeeping for this company as well as my own. And then pretty much all the ins and outs of everything related to the whole YouTube channel. Gather up any remaining time I have. Plus, I'm also going to school right now, taking some extra accounting classes, so pretty much I don't even sleep. My life feels somewhat patched together with all the different things I have going on, and I'm trying to make it all work out and keep everything afloat, and hopefully one day soon I'll make it big and all my efforts will have paid off and then continue to do so. Till then though, even though I'm traveling full-time and working from home, I'm still somewhat part of the rat race, you know, trying to stay relevant, interesting, and creative in a variety of fields that usually require more work than resulting ROI. I want to thank those who help out the channel and keep it worthwhile for me to continue to post on YouTube. And thank you for watching. Tune in next time for more Pippinings and RV Living Insight.